What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Aljamain Sterling has come out strongly in support of Merab, saying he fully deserves Fighter of the Year. Sterling didn't hesitate when giving his take, calling it an easy choice and pointing to Merab's insane activity and durability throughout the year. According to him, Merab's run speaks for itself, and the numbers alone should put him at the top of the list. Sterling addressed the criticism right away, especially from fans who argue that you can't win Fighter of the Year if you end the year with a loss. He pushed back on that idea, saying that if Merab had only fought 3 times instead of 4, people would have had no issue giving him the award. That, in his view, exposes how flawed the argument really is. He also reminded everyone that Merab didn't lose to some random opponent, but to a former champion, which should absolutely count for something. What really impressed Sterling was Merab's turnaround time. Merab fought on October 4th and then turned around to fight again on December 6th. Sterling emphasized how rare that is at the highest level, asking who else is doing that in modern MMA. He even compared it to his own career, saying Merab's schedule makes his alley fight turnaround look mild by comparison. Sterling explained that Merab was in the mindset to fight and never made excuses, but that doesn't change the toll it takes on the body. Drawing from his own experience, Sterling talked about how brutal repeated weight cuts can be. Cutting that much weight 4 times in a single year is no joke, and unless you've been through it, you don't truly understand the damage it can do. He pointed to Tony Ferguson as an example, mentioning when Tony made weight unnecessarily while preparing for a Khabib fight and was never quite the same afterward, especially following the Justin Gaethje bout. Sterling wrapped it up by saying people can call him biased, a hater, or even crazy, but facts are facts. Anyone who has competed in combat sports and cut weight knows exactly what Merab put his body through. As for the casual fans who have never done it and only type online, Sterling made it clear they simply don't know what they're talking about. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, we get a really interesting update involving Alex Pereira that absolutely took over the timeline. Over the New Year period, fighters and fans alike were posting stories, videos, and messages with loved ones, celebrating the start of 2026. In the middle of all that, Pereira appeared to casually drop a bombshell that sent the entire MMA community into a frenzy. Without much buildup, he and Tracy Cortez seemed to confirm that they are officially in a relationship, and it came completely out of nowhere. Now, we know most of you usually roll your eyes at relationship talk, especially when it drifts away from fights and rankings. But this one feels a bit different because we are talking about 2 active UFC fighters, both with massive followings and very different career paths. That alone made it fair game for discussion. The confirmation came through their Instagram stories, where subtle but very clear posts left little room for interpretation. Shortly after that, clips and photos of the 2 training together started circulating online, adding even more fuel to the fire. As you can imagine, the reactions were immediate and absolutely wild. Fans joked about Pereira seemingly having everything right now, being a 2-division champion, towering over most of the roster, stepping into a movie role, and now dating Tracy Cortez as well. Others compared it to the moment when the 2 most popular people in school suddenly start dating, even though they do not appear to have much in common on the surface. Some pointed out the language barrier, joking about Pereira needing a translator just to talk to his girlfriend, while others said 2026 was already delivering unexpected curveballs. There were also jokes about Brian Ortega somewhere dramatically reacting to the news, and comments about Tracy having a very specific type when it comes to UFC stars who are currently more relevant than her ex. Many fans laughed at how bold it was to announce this on New Year's Day, while others couldn't believe how Pereira continues to make headlines on repeat at 40 years of age. Moving on to another news, Brian Ortega has now reacted to the Alex Pereira and Tracy Cortez dating rumors after a photo of the 2 kissing began circulating across social media. As fans started tagging him and trying to stir up a response, Ortega decided to address it directly on his Instagram story. He made it clear that he saw what people were doing and acknowledged the creativity behind the attempts to get a reaction out of him. Ortega said he is beyond happy and has been happy for a long time now, shutting down any narrative that suggested otherwise. He explained that it is not his style to comment on other people's personal lives or the choices they make, and that it is not his business in the first place. According to him, his focus remains locked in on what truly matters. He emphasized that his family and his career are the priorities, and that 2026 along with every year after, will always be about those two things first. Moving on to another news. Joaquin Buckley has officially called out Belal Muhammad once again, and this ongoing back and forth doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. Since around February of last year, we've seen Buckley and Belal trading shots online on multiple occasions, and now it's clearly spilling into 2026 with even more intensity. Just before the new year, Belal posted a list of his goals for 2026, and the post immediately caught everyone's attention. Belal wrote out his goals in a numbered list, starting with winning a fight. He then joked about fighting the background actor from Black Panther, which many fans quickly recognized as a shot at Kamaru Usman and his small role in the movie. He followed that up by mentioning going to the Super Bowl, with the Bears pending, then finding the lost podcast files in reference to the old altercation on the Pound for Pound podcast. The list kept going with more humor, including wrestling Kobe and Raph, becoming a contestant on Family Feud, and repeatedly reminding everyone that winning a fight was the ultimate goal. It was clear from the tone that Belal knows how badly he needs a win right now. That post didn't sit quietly with Buckley. Shortly after, Buckley responded and made it very clear that he's more than ready to give Belal exactly what he's asking for. Buckley posted a message wishing Belal a happy new year before getting straight to the point. He said he liked the energy and understood the desire to get a win in 2026, but pointed out that goals need specifics. According to Buckley, you can't just say you want to win, you have to put a date on it. Buckley then did exactly that, calling for March 7th and proposing Vegas as the location. He said, "Let's make it happen. Let's run it and let's both chase the same goal, which is getting a win." He finished by spelling it out clearly, saying a win, a WIN, 100%, and closed it with a confident "let's go." Moving on to another news. Sean O'Malley is getting absolutely roasted across the MMA world after revealing his brand new face tattoo. A few days ago, O'Malley teased fans on social media by posting a short clip of a tattoo artist starting the first line on his forehead. Along with the clip, he invited fans to guess what it was going to be, telling everyone to comment wrong answers only. That post alone sent people into a frenzy, with jokes and memes flying everywhere. Not long after, O'Malley finally revealed what he actually got tattooed across his forehead, and it reads, "Doing Well." For those who might not know, O'Malley co-founded a brand called Doing Well about a year ago with his team, and this tattoo appears to be one of the boldest marketing moves possible. While some fans immediately assumed it was fake, many pointed out that it does not look like a temporary sticker. There is also speculation that it could be a semi-permanent tattoo, which usually lasts a couple of weeks. But with certain ink types, it can remain visible for months. Regardless of how long it lasts, the MMA community wasted no time jumping in with reactions. Merab chimed in with a sarcastic comment, while others joked that O'Malley picked up another win before the year even ended. Some fans said the look meant he was cooked, while others pointed out that his bank account might be doing well, but not much else. There were also comments saying this would age terribly if he ever gets knocked out, comparing it to something left in a hot parking lot. Other reactions were even harsher. Some people joked that it looked like he accidentally got the wrong word tattooed on his forehead. Others said they would never want to do business with a company that allows its face to do something this extreme. A few fans sarcastically suggested someone check on him, while others blamed fighter pay, saying if Dana paid fighters better, things like this would not happen. Beyond the jokes, there is also a serious angle to this. The UFC is known for heavily restricting how fighters can promote their own brands during events. Years ago, fighters could sell sponsorship space on their shorts, which helped them financially and gave their brands exposure. Today, the UFC controls nearly all sponsorships, and fighters only receive a fixed amount, if anything at all. That restriction may explain why O'Malley went this route. A forehead tattoo acts as a loophole, allowing him to promote his brand during his upcoming fight and spark massive online attention. Love it or hate it, the move has people talking non-stop, which may have been the entire point. Moving on to another news, Michael Morales found himself getting brutally roasted online after his New Year's Eve celebration went viral. Morales is widely known as one of the most dangerous knockout artists in the UFC today, but the way he chose to ring in the new year left a lot of fans scratching their heads. While people around the world were celebrating with friends and family, Morales appeared to be having the time of his life in a very unexpected way. Videos began circulating that showed Morales riding through the streets of Ecuador with a group of friends. He was dressed in a black women's dress, dancing, twerking and hyping up the crowd from the back of a moving truck. The clip spread fast, and it didn't take long before the MMA community jumped in with reactions. What was meant to be a fun moment quickly turned into non-stop jokes and memes. One fan commented that the whole thing was strange, sarcastically calling him their champ. Another joked that this version of Morales was Islam's worst nightmare and claimed Islam would be afraid to fight him. Others took it even further, saying the Dagestanis might disown Islam if he ever let someone like Morales beat him. The comments only got more outrageous as the clip continued to make the rounds. Some fans framed it as harmless fun and cultural celebration, while others clearly saw it as an easy target for roasting. One joke even suggested that Dana requires fighters to go through some kind of humiliation ritual if they want a title shot. Whether people loved it or hated it, the attention was undeniable. At the end of the day, Morales didn't hurt anyone and looked like he was simply enjoying himself to close out the year. Still, in the world of MMA, where anything outside the cage gets magnified, moments like this are guaranteed to turn into viral content and endless online reactions. Moving on to another news, Kevin Vallejos has admitted that even he is shocked by how fast his success has come in the UFC. Just a few weeks ago at a UFC Fight Night event inside the Apex, Vallejos delivered one of the most jaw-dropping knockouts of the year when he finished Giga Chikadze with a perfectly timed spinning back fist. The highlight instantly went viral and put his name on the map with fans around the world. In a recent interview, Vallejos opened up about how unexpected everything has been since that moment. He said he feels extremely happy and satisfied with what he accomplished this year, calling it a very complete and intense season for him. According to Vallejos, it felt surreal to start the year as a debutant and end it as a ranked fighter. He admitted that he never imagined things would move this quickly, and even seeing his name next to number 13 in the rankings genuinely surprised him. Vallejos explained that after beating Giga, he thought he might slide into the rankings at 15, if at all. Being placed at 13 was something he simply did not expect. He made it clear that breaking into the top of the division was never part of the plan for this year. The original goal was much simpler, which was to gain experience, learn at the highest level, and slowly build his way forward. To reach the rankings so quickly was something that caught him completely off guard. He also shared that this rapid rise has reinforced his belief that he is exactly where he needs to be. Rather than relocating to a major MMA hub, Vallejos has chosen to stay home in Argentina and continue developing there. He acknowledged that many fighters feel the need to move to countries like Brazil or the United States to access elite resources, but he is doing something different. Vallejos said Argentina may not yet be known at the same cultural or technical level in MMA, but he sees clear progress and believes in what they are building. For the most part, he stays in Argentina and only leaves when necessary for training camps. Even then, he tries to keep those trips limited. He revealed that in the past year, he only spent about a month and a half in Brazil, and that approach worked well for him. Looking ahead, Vallejos is seriously considering doing almost all of his camps at home, continuing to learn, develop, and prove that success does not always require leaving where you started. Moving on to another news. There is growing concern around the future of Tom Aspinall, and this time, the warning is coming from Joe Rogan himself. Most fans already know about the double eye poke incident that happened at UFC 321, which immediately sidelined Aspinall and has now kept him out for over 2 months. The injury was serious from the start, and unfortunately, the updates since then have only become more worrying. Just a few days ago, Aspinall underwent surgery on his right eye. While that procedure was necessary, it was not the end of the process. He is still expected to have another surgery on his other eye sometime in January, meaning his recovery is far from complete. Now, according to Joe Rogan, he has heard troubling information about Aspinall's current condition, and it raises real questions about whether he will ever compete again. Rogan revealed that Aspinall is still struggling to see properly out of his right eye, even after surgery. He explained that there may be tendon damage or lingering complications, and when it comes to eye injuries, nothing is ever guaranteed. Rogan openly said that it is possible Aspinall may never fight again if the surgeries do not fully restore his vision. He described the situation as a complete disaster, emphasizing how unpredictable and delicate eye injuries can be at the elite level of combat sports. Rogan added that the only way Aspinall might return under those circumstances is if he were willing to do something extreme. He compared it to Bisping, who famously competed in the UFC while blind in one eye. Rogan called that decision insane, pointing out that Bisping managed to fight 11 times in the promotion with compromised vision, something almost unheard of in modern MMA. Bisping is not the only example, either. Shara Bullet is another current UFC fighter who is legally blind in one eye due to a sparring injury from years ago. Despite facing major resistance from athletic commissions, he has still been cleared to compete. In Bisping's case, it has long been said that he managed to hide the severity of his condition and convincingly act as if his vision was normal, allowing him to continue fighting at the highest level. The difference, however, is that these situations come with enormous risk. Rogan made it clear that eyes are not something fighters can gamble with lightly. For Aspinall, the priority now is recovery and long-term health, and until his vision situation becomes clearer, his fighting future remains painfully uncertain.